With the way medical knowledge is vastly available today, it will surprise you to know that so many people still don't know their genotype. So today I'm going to be talking about 6 medical tests every intending couple should do, both the male and the female partner. Ordinarily, you should know about these 6 medical tests. If you do this test much more earlier when you are preparing, it can also help you to make the right choice. Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jude. I'm a final year medical student living in the capital city of Nigeria. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you'll be the first to know each time I post the video content. And make sure you like this video and share with your friends. Number 1 is your genotype. And you will know this by doing your hemoglobin electrophoresis. You already know that it's not advised for an AS to marry another AS, nor is it advised for an AS to marry an SS, because the chances that you are going to give birth to a sickle cell anemic child is very high. And even though there is a cure currently, it is very expensive, in millions of dollars, and it can be prevented. So why not prevent it? Number 2 is HIV status. Even as a single person, if you are not preparing for marriage, you should know your HIV status, because you need to take action. If at all, God forbid, somebody is positive, you need to commence the antiretroviral drug ASAP and live a healthy life, and also not spread it to other people. That's one. Then secondly, you shouldn't marry somebody you don't know their HIV status. Okay, medically, this is not a reason to call off a marriage. Like I said, being HIV positive is not a medical reason to call off a marriage, but then it is so that you don't transfer or transmit the sickness to your partner. So if you discover it on time and you're on drugs, your viral load will reduce. At some point, you can actually meet with your partner and you both can give birth to children that you will never, one, you will not transmit it to your partner, you will not also transmit it to your children. That is, if you are being properly managed, you are on antiretroviral drugs and you are taking it correctly. At some point, your viral load is going to be so suppressed and it becomes undetectable. And so that's the goal, so that you don't go and transmit it to your partner, then to your children. It can be avoided, though it's not a medical reason for calling off a marriage, but you should know this so that if at all somebody is positive, you cannot take preventive measures not to spread it to your partner and your unborn children. That's the major reason for that. The third one is your hepatitis B and C status. You should actually know your hepatitis B and C status, because hepatitis B especially is very easy to transmit, and it's even like the mode of transmission is just through body fluid, like even saliva. So it's even more virulent than HIV. So you should know your hepatitis B status so that if your partner is positive and the other person is negative, the person that is negative should actually go and take the vaccine so that it doesn't get infected by the partner. So that's the importance of that. This is not a medical reason to call off marriage. It's unlike genotype. This one is just to take preventive measures so that one person does not transfer it to their partner. The fourth one is other sexually transmitted infection screening, like chlamydia, gonorrhea, and others, especially for the men, because I've read some things online that actually gives me concern. You hear that a man is about to get married and he's still sleeping with other ladies, like even the week before the marriage. The bad thing is that if that man should have an unprotected sexual encounter with someone that has an STI, then he gets that disease. He can actually pass that disease to the innocent wife just few months into the wedding. And you know what these organisms can do to women? They can come down with PID and even subsequently with infertility. So it is good that even in a month or so before the wedding, you should both screen yourselves for all the STIs. The reason is, if anybody is positive, you commence treatment so that you don't go blindly and transmit these organisms to your innocent partner. The fifth one is fertility test. If possible and if you can afford it, it is actually advisable you do fertility test, because most people go into marriage without knowing their fertility status, if they are able to father a child, or if the lady in quote can actually get pregnant. So when you do this fertility test and check your fertility status, if anybody has issue, you are not going into the marriage with an open mind. It's not as if you are being deceived. So you know that, okay, we might not be able to have our children, but I'm ready to pay the sacrifice. Not that you go in blindly then start blaming somebody or start opting for divorce just after marriage. So though it's not very popular, but it saves you from a lot of headache. The last one for today is mental health status. This one is very important because of the kind of world we live in. A lot of people are living with some mental health issues. So in as much as I'm not saying this to stigmatize or discriminate, I'm saying you should know the person you are entering relationship with. You should be aware that you can cope with it, and you can support them through it, so that you don't get into the marriage and it becomes a body. So mental health assessment: is this person fine? Is this person mentally okay? Does this person have seasonal psychosis and all of that? So you can meet a psychiatrist, both parties now, and do a mental health assessment, just to be sure that the two of you are mentally okay. And if anybody needs rehabilitation or needs healing or needs psychotherapy, you can actually take it before proceeding to marriage, but it's better not to go blindly. That's my point. I will still do a separate video on this, but in passing, I just want to say, for a young lady that is planning to marry, especially if you are a virgin, you have never had sexual intercourse, it is advisable that you actually take the HPV vaccine, the human papilloma virus vaccine, because cervical cancer is real and it doesn't respect anybody. And the virus that causes cervical cancer is called human papilloma virus, and it's transmitted from the men to the women. Be safe, to be on the safer side. Before you, when you're intending to get married, you should actually take the HPV vaccine, especially if you have not been sexually active, you are a virgin. You take the HPV vaccine. If you are a lady and you are sexually active, make sure you do your routine screening for cervical cancer, which is the pap smear. Prevention is always better than cure. Till I come your way again, bye.